It might seem like the easiest thing in the world to drop trou and shuffle out on a stage, but John Cena's Oscar skit never would have happened if he hadn't followed two simple rules. In an interview with Variety that delved into some of the secrets of this year's Oscar telecast, producer Molly McNearney, who also happens to be host Jimmy Kimmel's wife and an executive producer on the show, and Walt Disney Television executive Rob Mills, revealed that John Cena's revealing presentation for Best Costume Design at the 2024 Oscars almost didn't happen. In fact, they had to fight tooth and nail to get Cena out there in his birthday suit, because the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, and Standards and Practices, or S&P, were fully against it.
Standards and practices are a vital link in keeping good and funny ideas away from you, the television viewer.
Those regulatory agencies take TV nudity extremely seriously, but they finally agreed as long as the skit followed two strict rules. Mills told Variety, "There was a lot of reticence of not just a fine from the FCC, but potential complaints. A bulge cannot be showing, and you can't show crack. In other words, no outies and no innies. But even the best-laid plans are prone to accidents, so they made doubly sure there was absolutely no chance of bulges bulging or cracks cracking." Mills continued, "It was also what happens if he drops that card. So we made sure that, for all intents and purposes, he looked like a Ken doll up front. His crack was covered in the back, and then the envelope was velcroed on there so it wouldn't fall. But beyond that, he was naked."
I keep pinching myself. I can't believe we get to do this for work.
Mills and McNearney went on to say that the Standards and Practices executives at ABC were incredibly nervous about the idea of John Cena being completely naked on stage at the Dolby Theatre, even with the rules about cracks and bulges firmly in place. The fact that Cena's bit was a callback to a streaker who snuck on stage during the 1974 Oscars likely didn't help. But Mills and McNearney said that they got everything they wanted, even though ABC's legal team wasn't thrilled. McNearney said, "They were sweating. I think at the end we all got to a spot where we were comfortable. S&P was comfortable, and it didn't compromise the comedy a bit. I was very thankful that we didn't have to send him out there in tighty whities, which I'm sure legal would have preferred. Maybe none of them ever watched The Suicide Squad, but we're not entirely sure how tighty whities would have skirted the no bulges rule."
Why the f*** are you in your underwear? Tighty whities? Really?
Now that's just racist.
In the end, his moment at the Oscars was a huge hit with viewers. On X, audiences praised the bit, saying it was the best thing to happen all night. One user wrote, "John Cena just saying costumes was funnier than any other joke at the Oscars so far." Another person agreed, saying, "Naked John Cena bit might be the greatest Oscar bit of all time." Meanwhile, another user praised Cena's willingness to make fun of himself, saying, "No matter what anyone says, John Cena commits." IndieWire critic David Ehrlich had a pretty excellent idea for what the Oscars could have added in light of Cena's gag, saying, "It should be illegal for the Oscars to be over before 10:30. Plenty of room for a Best Stunt Award, full clips, a Lifetime Achievement Award, and a short animated documentary on the size and shape of John Cena's ass, whatever. Otherwise, good show."